Are there any brands out there that you look at and say, oh, that is an iconic brand that has meant so much in history, but today means nothing. I'd love to get my hands on it.
Nintendo.
Why?
Because they're fucking up.
PewDiePie killed Nintendo, Nintendo let it happen, and because of that, the Nintendo Switch will fail. We're only a couple weeks from the Nintendo Switch launching, and it already has more pre-orders than the PlayStation 4. It's $100 cheaper, but that's still impressive. Before I start, I'd like to say that I want Nintendo to succeed. This is less of a hate video and more of a wake-up call. Something that if Nintendo doesn't fix, the Switch will fail. Come back here when it succeeds and please rub it in my face. But I'm going on the record as of February 15th, 2017 to say that the Nintendo Switch will fail, and argue that no, it isn't because of a lack of third-party support on its own. So what happened? The Nintendo Wii was on top of the world from 2008 to 2009. It was the weaker console of the trio, but that didn't matter. The PlayStation and Xbox had Grand Theft Auto 4, Gears of War 2, Fallout 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Left 4 Dead. But they were no match for Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Mario Kart. They hit their peak in fiscal year 2009, and of course this means there's nowhere to go but down. Fiscal year 2010 still on the decline but still on top. Try again Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed 2, Modern Warfare 2. New Super Mario Bros. Is slaying all of you on its own. It's 2011. 360 and PS3 are still rising. Wii is still falling. Your Red Dead Redemption and God of War 3 are cute. No match for Super Galaxy 2, but they're about to catch you. It's fiscal year 2012. What happened? PS3 and Xbox just passed the Wii. Did Arkham City, Little Big Planet 2, Uncharted 3, and Portal 2 single-handedly steal the torch from the Wii in 2011? Of course not. So what happened from 2011 to 2012? Why is Nintendo failing while PlayStation and Xbox are rising? Is it the fact that Wii only had one notable exclusive that year, while PlayStation had 2 plus over 10 notable third-party titles? Perhaps. But I ask you this. Third parties definitely now matter, but why did they all of a sudden matter in 2011? Why didn't they matter when the Wii was selling more in 2009 with New Super Mario Bros. While PlayStation had Uncharted 2 as well as third-party support of games like Assassin's Creed 2, Modern Warfare 2, Borderlands, and Arkham Asylum? I'll answer. It's because commercials no longer matter and we're no longer limited to word of mouth. Coincidence or not, 2010 was the birth of PewDiePie, but he wasn't the first YouTube gamer, and he played games like Amnesia. How is that helping consoles in any way? Great question. It doesn't directly, but indirectly it does. With the success of PewDiePie, gaming on YouTube starts to sprout its legs when? You guessed it, the year 2011. iJustine, Smosh, you name it, all of your favorite YouTubers started to hop on the gaming train in 2011. And by 2012, everyone had a gaming channel trying to become the next PewDiePie, most of which, like myself in 2011, were very casual gamers. And what do casual gamers play? Consoles. And how do you stay relevant on YouTube? You stay current with trends. And whose console had new games to play in 2011? Not Nintendo. Nintendo games are getting little to no love. It was all Call of Duty, Little Big Planet 2, Minecraft, and Dead Space. And as you can see on the chart here, that after the first boom of YouTube gaming, PlayStation stays on an upward trend even till this very day, while Nintendo stays on a downward trend. It wouldn't be until a year later that Nintendo mattered again for a brief moment with Super Mario Bros. U, only to seal the fate and death of the Wii U in the very same fiscal year 2013 when they started to enforce copyright on creators. And I can hear you in the comments right now. What about the 3DS? Explain the success of the 3DS as you smile with glee thinking you got me. So I went ahead and added the 3DS to the chart as well. And again, coincidence or not, the 3DS starts to fall off the very year PS3 and YouTube gaming starts to take off. Many personalities that I respect greatly, such as Jim Sterling, Matt Pat, Colin Moriarty, Angry Joe, and Boogie2988, point to the lack of third-party support as being a reason the Nintendo Switch may fail, and I both agree and disagree to an extent. I argue that third-party support never mattered for the Wii, evident in that it lacked third-party support of massive titles since 2007, and still stayed on top until the moment YouTube became the new TV. However, we can see in the long run that it actually was the very thing that killed it. Gamers had to move on to play these new games they were hearing about, but it's unfair to point fingers looking back because who could have predicted this? Where it's completely fair to point fingers is looking back at the Wii U and now the Switch, where there's no more guesswork. Nintendo knows the reality and chooses to ignore it. Why the Wii sold so well is because at the time Nintendo was a name everyone knew. You wanted a Nintendo because it's Nintendo. It's a Mario game, buy it. Guaranteed to be fun. I don't know what this Fallout nonsense is about. Assassin's Creed, what is this? Some ninja stuff? No thanks. The birth of YouTube gaming was a peek into a world of video games casual gamers have never seen before. It was the age of video game knowledge. It was the equivalent of going from the playground for in-game secrets to going to the internet. We no longer relied on commercials to tell us about new games. We were fast forwarding through them anyway. We started to try new things because we saw our favorite YouTubers playing them and having fun. And this is what Nintendo fails to realize. Nintendo is so stuck in the past they actually paid for a spot in the Super Bowl, a spot that cost around $5 million. The Super Bowl had 111 million drunk eyes on it. Nintendo paid $5 million for 111 million eyes. PewDiePie gets over 300 million eyes per month, and if Nintendo weren't greedy bastards, those 300 million eyes would be free. The top 10 gamers alone combined get over 1 billion eyes on their channel per month. 1 billion eyes that again, if Nintendo weren't such greedy bastards, would be free. 12 times a year, not just once. By the way, 1 billion views is about $1 to $5 million in ad revenue. 10 times the eyes of people actually interested in your product for the same price. Congratulations, Nintendo, you played yourself. So how can Nintendo fix this? It's simple. Nintendo is losing. They need to start running their company like Amazon does if they have any hopes of making it to the 2020s. And what I mean by that is being willing to lose money in the short term to build solid foundations. Hire third-party studios to work with you to design games for Let's Plays on top of the solid first-party experiences we already get like Zelda and Mario. Let creators monetize and make a living in exchange for the free advertisement. Is this a quick fix? Of course not. Much like my point in 2011, Nintendo still needs games to be relevant. Making good games takes years. Nintendo absolutely must have one AAA level experience that isn't 5 years old ready to go every 4 months, and polish small exclusives for the other 8 months. Treat this like the 3DS. Smaller handheld experiences such as Pokemon are completely acceptable for this console and can be passed off as the AAA experience for a fiscal quarter. But at the end of the day, no matter how good your games are, and no matter how many you have, none of it will matter if influencers and personalities aren't allowed talking about it. Wake up, Nintendo, it's 2017. We sell games now, not the Super Bowl. But that's just a theory. A game but what do I know? These are just the ramblings of a Superken. Thank you guys so much for watching the first ramblings of a Superken. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Argue with me down in the comment section below. I got a ton of hate on my reaction to Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm sure I'm gonna get just as much hate, if not more, for this video. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Is it all just coincidence, or am I onto something? Let me know. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay beautiful.
You're a multi-billion-dollar company. How about this, jerk off? Why don't you take 3 commercials, don't do them, that nobody watches, and let's hire 9 people to actually care about your end user. What a concept. It's 2011.